Thanks for joining the show once again. This is Chris Baker Jr., your host of the podcast. Tell me your story. And today's special
Okay,
guest,
so where do I even begin?
and we're just gonna jump into this like we always do. Tonight, my special guest is, you see it right here. I'll let her say it to you. Who is this?
Okay, my name is Tanya. Well, you can call me Tanya. Um, I guess I don't know. I don't even know how to start this off. I'm sorry.
All right, we'll start it from just like how I do with everybody else. Is where does life take off for you? Where were you born?
Born and raised in Lexington, North Carolina. Um, I came from a very, very, very abusive life from my own mom. Um, at the age of 1 year old. Very abusive. So I was raised by my grandma from after they found me, after she abandoned me, they found me. So my grandma raised me to the person that I am today, which I am very blessed of that. Um, well, for my life is like pretty much traumatized. Uh, it started off by the abuse, being bullied in high school or middle school. I was diagnosed with mental illness in 2017. Then the many suicide attempts started from 2017 through 2019, and I finally in 2020 decided enough is enough. I don't know how that happened, but I just broke down and was like, enough is enough. I needed help. I didn't even knew it was mental illness. So, but I was trying to seek help. I went to my primary care at that time, and that's when she kind of figured out that I was suffering from mental illness. So we started looking for a psychiatrist, therapist, counselor, and all that good stuff. I have low self-esteem, so my self-esteem has really shot me down real low. And it just recently to last month, on the first of last month, last year, when I finally started thinking negative. I mean, when I finally started thinking positive about me, my self-esteem started rising. Then I started writing a lot, so that really has helped.
Can you kind of explain what you were like how you kind of fell into that hole and why you started feeling like just down and just ready just to give it up? Can you kind of?
Um, all the abuse that I suffered, like I said, from my mom, feeling unloved. I felt that nobody, because my mom didn't love me, I felt that nobody loved me, not even God. And I'm a Christian believer, and I still with because of all that, I felt that God didn't love me, and so it was like I don't even know how to put it in words, but I just felt negative about my entire life, about my appearance. It's just all the stuff that I went through.
Do you still kind of feel that way now, or are you kind of like?
I just sort of, believe me, it's getting better. But because like I said, I'm seeking help, and with my therapist, we're going over some of the stuff that can make me feel better about myself. And I started taking better care of myself physically. I'm doing fitness now, so I'm started doing that, and it's like I'm encouraging people, telling them my story, telling them what I've been through, how I overcame it. I mean, it's still a tough battle to fight, but by me writing my story, by me writing Bible verses or thinking of scriptures and just writing, that help out a whole lot.
So we should be expecting a book from you sometime soon, huh? What do
Right.
you have a title for it yet? Do you know what do you?
I just come up with I just randomly come up with stuff in my head and just write it out. I do share them on Facebook. It's just, I mean, I will share some of them to you, but I do share some a lot. I share them privately too in messages instead of publicly. I usually share them publicly until you got one bad apple that didn't like it, so I stopped sharing.
Well, yeah, that's usually how it goes though. It's like I was telling you earlier, is like we live in a negative world. We're surrounded by it, and I think a lot of people don't realize like it's really like that. It's like just the littlest thing that, like you said, it builds you up. You're feeling positive about something that, is moving you
Mhm.
because you're writing about it. And then all of a sudden somebody comes out of nowhere and just like says something, and it just, immediately shuts you off. And a lot of people don't realize that they're making that mistake is because we live in a carefree world. But, you know,
Right.
a
And a
person,
lot of people, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's like mental health, mental illness is a tough battle to fight.
yes, it's a very serious
And
thing.
people are ashamed to speak about it.
It's a very serious thing, and I'm glad that you're writing about it though. And, because I do the same thing myself. I read a lot of self help books, and that, like, I mean, it helps me. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale really like
Mm,
got me in the right direction, and it helped me out a lot. It changed my mindset on a lot of things. It made me think differently because, like I said, we live in a negative world, and we tend to, instead of thinking positive right away, we think the negative thoughts, and
oh,
before you know it, it takes over our minds, and we're just thinking completely, bad stuff. But the second you
yeah,
begin,
that's where the suicide attempts came in. Because believe me, I am blessed to be here because the last one was 2019, and a couple of them I almost didn't succeed. I almost succeeded, I mean, but it's like that's what when they told me that I was like, do I really want to end my own life? And my pastor was like, you got so much to live for.
do.
Everybody was encouraging me, but I was my own worst enemy.
um, yeah. Sorry, I got kind of distracted for a minute. Heard background noise. Oh, but I totally agree. You have more than, your life is worth more than words, and that's the truth.
I just gotta believe that.
I mean, and that's really what it comes down to is. And then when you like put it like that, where you think about ending it all, to me as a Christian too, I believe like that's not the answer, because I know like the afterlife. I feel like even if you were to end it there, it's just gonna be like the same thing. You're just gonna have to relive that over and over and over. And
Mm,
to me, I I don't want to ever be on that side of the world and ever think about like that.
and what's happening now? Um, it's a lot. I know that I'm not the only one that suffers, so it's like I said, I'm not ashamed to talk about my mental illness, and I just try to encourage others and tell them what I go through, what I'm going through, and how I'm overcoming it.
What would you say to somebody that is kind of feeling that way right now? It's just like they just feel like their life isn't worth it, and they're kind of like, somebody that's watching right now. What would you tell them?
First of all, that they had I don't even know. What I tell myself now, that I am a child of God, that I just throw out some scriptures, that it is like I put in there, writing that, I say too, life is a beautiful thing. It's how you put your mind to it, how you put your heart to it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
It just, I mean, we all have a purpose in life, and I'm starting. Trust me, I'm just now starting to believe that we have a purpose for living. God put us on the earth for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Preach it. Preach it. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Go ahead.
It's just because, like I said, I'm going through. I'm just now believing in myself. Well, kind of believe in myself. It's trust me, it's still a battle to fight. I haven't harmed myself in like since 2019, but it's still trust me every day or every other day. It's still a battle. But I know that with God, all things are possible.
Yes.
If you only believe, like they say, if you only believe.
And once you start
And
to
I
believe more and understand more that he's actually a part of us.
like,
And then once you get that going and understand that more clear, you start to realize like, anything is possible for you. You can do anything.
mhm.
Anything that you put your mind to, you can do
Oh yeah. Now you about to start preaching.
it.
But I mean, I tell people, I do tell people, like I was talking to a friend of mine today. I tell her, she's suffering. I mean, she's, about me and her has almost the same situation. And I tell her, I'm like, to help me, I tell my story. Or, not to be ashamed of what you went through or what you're going through. It helps to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like mental illness, I know people are ashamed to talk about mental illness, but your story might help somebody else.
And that's why you're on here right
That's what
now
I'm
to speak it,
hoping.
to tell it, to tell your
That's
story.
what I'm hoping that it might, if it makes sense, that's what I'm hoping that it'll help somebody else.
Oh, I know it's going to help somebody else. There's somebody out there right now that's just nodding their head like me right now and saying yes. Keep talking, girl. Keep talking.
I mean, it's like, I don't even know. My mind is blank right now.
My advice to anybody that's listening right now, since I'm kind of in the preacher moment, is like whenever you start to get these thoughts in your mind where you're kind of like just going through it and you kind of get these negative thoughts just going through your head, my advice to you is to pray the Our Father prayer is. To pray it. Pray it every time you start having these negative thoughts. Whenever something you're just feeling down and out, pray it. And if you don't know what that is, I'll say it right now. It begins with Our Father, who art in heaven.
Yeah.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, that will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. And you say those words over and over and
Oh,
over, I promise you, those negative thoughts will go away, and you'll begin to feel these positive thoughts coming in.
there you go.
Let the stress go, and let the blessings flow.
Oh yeah, when the prices go up, the blessings come down. So that's what they always say. It's like I said, and don't be afraid to seek help. I mean, there's like professionals out there, and if I could tell you, it's like words cannot express the support team that I have. I think that I have like the best support team. My family, by me being the only one with mental illness, my family don't understand. I don't even understand it. But I have like my church as my support team, my pastors. I mean, they are awesome. I have like I said, my therapist, my psychiatrist, my doctors. Everybody believe in me except for me.
I mean, in time it will come. You know, it starts off like that. I mean, that's the great thing though is what I'm hearing is you have support. You have people in
Yeah.
your corner helping you out. And I'm gonna be one of
And
those
my
people.
writings, and my writings. I mean, I am so I could be proud of myself because I'm not that smart, but I can come up with something to say in a minute
He's
in my
saying you're
writings.
not that
And
smart.
that's
Wait, don't dog on yourself. You are smart. Don't do that to yourself. You're very intelligent. You got many ideas inside here that you're gonna bring out to the world, bring into this reality, and people are gonna love it. Don't beat yourself down.
That's what I do all day long. I think that's what I put in my writing. That's what my writings come from. Cause like I don't want to keep sounding like a broken record and music. And I mean I listen to contemporary music, the praise music. That is another a second go to.
It really comes down to the mindset. Is like where you're saying that you're starting to listen to more, uplifting music, and that's what you got to do. Watch uplifting stuff, movies, music. Do it in your walks. Talk to people that are uplifting. Watch speeches about it too. Uplifting speeches. Read the book. Read the book of Proverbs. Get into that, and you'll start really getting motivated to. I want you. What you should do right now is put your hand over your heart like this. You feel that? You feel that inside you?
Yep.
That's greatness. That's greatness inside you. Don't be afraid to show it off to the world.
I always wanted to do something like this. Like I told you earlier, I just didn't know where to go about it or how to do it. Because I was like, what if I can be a spokesperson for what I'm going through or for everybody else in mental illness?
I
I mean, it might help, so like I said, hopefully it'll help other people as well as helping me.
Yeah. I mean that's the beautiful thing about it is like that's what you're destined to do. All these hard times you have gone through, everything that you thought was like you thought it was just dumb. It wasn't worth it. But now you're taking that next step in life. And all that stuff that you went through, you're going to be able to pass it on to other people and let people know that it's okay. Everything's going to be all right. You're going to get through this. It's all going to be good.
Because I'm gonna tell you, it's hard, especially when it starts from your own biological mom, the person that's supposed to love you second after God. And I live it every day because I have scars on my body because of it. But it's like I know that I can't let the scars define the person that I want to become to be.
And those scars, those battle wounds are nothing but blessings. And you gotta talk about it, let the world know. Somebody that's listening right now is, going through the same battle and they just want to hear your story. What do you want to tell them?
That you are worth it. You are worth the fight. You are strong enough. Find something that you love to do, keep at it. Find something new, or some tell somebody what you're going through, and y'all can be an encouragement to each other. That's what I'm doing today. That's what me and this a friend of mine been going today. We've been encouraging each other, and it helps the both of us. And like I said before, don't be afraid to seek help. Go to your doctor, go to your pastor, go to somebody.
Don't stop. Keep going. Keep going.
I'm lost. I mean, a smile, laugh. They say laughter is the best medicine.
It is.
Up, dance around.
Feel yourself, that's basically what you're saying. Feel yourself. Feel good, man. Get out there and just enjoy every day. Get out there
Right.
and just, that's why I love doing this podcast is I get to meet incredible people just like you in this world, and that's the beautiful thing of this world is we all have a story. We all do.
Mhm.
And
And it just so happened I was scrolling through Facebook and I just saw a video of your ad, and I'm like, wow, God, this is like what I've been wanting to do. Yeah, and I listened to a couple of them, and I forgot their names, but I'm like, this is exactly what I need.
that's what I
I,
want. That's what I want people to see with this with my podcast is I want people to understand that That's what it's for. It's not for me. I'm just doing this to get the people's stories out there. The people that their voice needs to be heard.
And and I don't even know you yet, and you're doing an amazing job. 'Cause, I mean, when I heard the first episode, I was like, wow. Even to your video, I said, okay, I can do this. Because I had somebody to tell me that I need to do something.
Hmm.
Because I'm like, they keep telling me that I am an inspiration, but it's like, how can I be an inspiration?
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to believe that I am.
This is hey, this
And it's
this is
just
only just the
recent.
beginning. This is just the beginning of the journey.
And I believe it. And I truly believe that I can help somebody, or if they don't even know where to start. I'm not a professional, but I say
Yeah.
if you take, for instance, like me, I wish that I had somebody to go to when I swallowed all them pills, or I'm gonna tell you the last one, I even slashed my wrist. I slashed like my wrist so deep. And I'm like, I wish that I had somebody to go to before I even did that. I ain't had nobody. I mean, I probably did have somebody, but I was ashamed to speak it out. I just went on ahead and automatically did what I did. Even though now I'm like, when I do have those thoughts, I reaches out. I'm like, okay, I'm calling somebody. I don't care if it's in the middle of the night. I will call that person. I would, especially my therapist, I would email her, let her know what I'm going through, or I call the cops to myself.
Hmm.
I know I'm off base. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. I want you to talk about this, and I'm happy that you're comfortable with because I know it's kind of dark. It's kind of a lot of people will turn away from that kind of talk, but I love it. I love that you're strong enough to be able to talk about that moment. You know, and I'm happy. I'm more happy that you're here, that you're still here to tell me
I
about it.
appreciate it. And I am blessed that I'm still here because and it's been since 2019 since I've done anything like that. I mean, physically harm myself, and like I said, it's rough. Believe me, I still go through it. It's rough, but the stronger the stronger, the better. I
Yes.
put it that way. And then the better you realize, hey, I can overcome this. It will be okay.
Yes. 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 All right. Let's dig into the story, man. So your childhood. Um, where'd you go to school at?
I'm from Lexington, North Carolina, so all throughout the middle school, high school. It was from Lexington, North Carolina.
Like after, was it tough in school? Did you get bullied or
I got bullied almost every day. I mean, when you said bullied, it was rough. Um, I don't know why, but and the teachers and the principals didn't never do anything about it when you did report it or anything like that. And I would come home. I remember come home crying every day. I think that's what led me to depression. And I just stayed to myself. I isolate myself. And I didn't even want to go to school because it was like every day I was bullied. And it's just recently I had two of them that came up to me, and even all these years later, they apologized. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I forgave them too. I'm like, cause God led me to forgive them, but I'm sorry, but right now I'm working on forgiving my own mom.
hmm
I don't have a relationship with her, but I'm working on forgiving her. because I'm talking to my pastor about. I've been talking to my pastor about it. I even wrote a letter, about me forgiving her. But I just gotta work on it. And it's like, why hold the grudge? If if God can forgive us for our sins or whatever, I can forgive.
And that's the truth. And it's like, well, it is also written too. It's like you want God to forgive you, right? You have to forgive others.
Right.
You have to forgive others. That's how it works. You have to forgive
And
others.
the main thing I want to focus on, I have so much anger and hatred still. I'm 48, and this happened when I was 18 months. And if you know the anger and the hatred that I still have holding on from the abuse, it's like it's hard.
Hmm. You know, what you're
I
talking
don't
about.
know if
You're saying
anybody
that.
understands being abused from their own parents. Like, I guess it's hard because most people have one parent in their life. I had no parents, neither one of my parents.
And that alone just makes life a lot harder. I could imagine.
Right. Even though I was raised by my grandma, I still felt nobody loved me because of it. I don't even love myself because of it.
How was your relationship with your grandma?
It was good. I mean, don't get me wrong. She took care of me really, really well. Like I said, I am blessed because after what I've been through, I could have been locked up. I could have been out there on the street doing drugs, alcohol, because of the way the lifestyle that my mom lived. I mean, I don't know if she did any of that, but after what I went through, I could have done, all that. But my grandma blessed me. She raised me up in the church, and I think that's what saved me from the streets, going out there in the streets, doing this, doing that. Um, bless her heart, she had so much illnesses herself, but I was so blessed that she took care of her granddaughter.
And plus, that kind of
Yeah.
knocks out what you were saying earlier about yourself, that you're not really that intelligent. But that's not true at all. I mean, you just said it clear as day right there. You were smart enough, with everything going on, you were smart enough to keep yourself away from trouble, to stay out of trouble, to keep yourself into
Right.
the spiritual roots thanks to your grandma. And that right there, that's a blessing.
You know what? I ain't even think of it that way.
Like that's a blessing. And a lot of people that don't have their parents in the picture tend to fall into that lifestyle, but you were smart enough that you didn't.
You right. You absolutely right. Like I said, I didn't even think of it that way until just now.
Like, hey man, that's a blessing in disguise right there. We miss out on the blessings that, happen in our everyday lives because of the negative world
Mhm.
that we live in. But, when somebody starts telling you like I just did, isn't that incredible? Like all this time you're like, wow, now you tell me about it, like I think about it. Like, hey, you got a point.
To me, the best medicine now is positive vibes.
Hmm.
If you hang around the negative people, you're gonna start thinking negative.
Oh yeah, you'll start acting just like those people.
Oh yeah, and believe me, I have negativity around me all the time. But I have my positive people around me as well. Like I said, my church family. If you understand the blessings that I receive from them, and no offense, I'm different from all of them because it's a. I'm not trying to be racist or nothing. I'm the only black person there, but they treat me like they don't see color. I don't see color either.
And
They treat me like I'm their own.
I mean,
And they knows what I go through because I talk to them on a constantly basis. Matter of fact, It was 2019 when my pastor was the one who actually saved my life because I told him what I just did, and he was to get help. So I owe it all to him.
What is your like? Can you kind of describe like what does your pastor do for you? How did he help you out?
I called him and told him actually what I just did or what I had done, and he back then and there I can't recall what actually happened because I think he said that he didn't even know if I was actually conscious or whatever
Uh huh.
because he was trying to get me to respond, but I wasn't responding as well as he wanted me to. So he called two other members to come check on me because he stays in another city. And he called two other members that was close by me to come check on me. They couldn't get in, so they called 911. 911 had to literally break in my house. That's all. I'm just going by what I was told.
Now I bet you was mad when you came back and your door was broke.
And it still is. It had never been fixed.
Them damn people. They done fixed you up, but they didn't fix your door.
And I'm like, why would I want to? I'm like, I'm so glad that I survived because now I see that I can help people that are going through the same struggles that I have been through or worse.
What what would your advice be to people that how would you help them?
That's a tough answer. A tough question. Look, I the thing that comes to my mind right now is Psalms 121. I look to the hills from which my help coming from. My help comes from God.
Hold on. Which one did you say it was? I gotta.
Psalms 121, the whole passage.
Psalms 21,
121.
121. Okay. Yeah, I'll read it to the people. This isn't another day. I mean, this is another day, another blessing. But we're gonna change the podcast title to "This is the testimony."
Okay. That's fine. Hey, I'm with you with whatever you gonna want to do. It's your show, not mine.
I will lift up my eyes. Hold on, Let me get into this real quick. I feel like I'm preaching now. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence come my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He will not keep thou not slumber. Behold, he keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is the keeper, the Lord is the shade upon the right hand. The sun shall not smile thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil, he shall preserve thee soul. The Lord shall preserve thee going out, and thee coming in from this time forth, and even for even more. That's deep.
Oh yeah.
That's a good
And
one.
I don't know. I mean, it makes perfect sense in a way. And I didn't. I mean, it's like throughout the Bible been there throughout many years. That scripture never hit home until just recently.
How do you
And I'm
feel
like,
about
wow.
how do you feel about Jeremiah 29:13? You ever read that one?
I don't know. I know Jeremiah 29:11. I just don't know I don't know 13.
Hold on, no, it might be 11 actually. Yeah, I think it is. It's Jeremiah 11. You're right. I got that one wrong. For the Lord knows the plans that I have for you, plans to
Yep.
prosper, not to harm you, but to help you
And
every single
and Romans 8:28. While we at it, Romans 8:28. I don't know all of it, but for we know that all things work together for good to those who love God.
That's funny. I didn't even type it in, and it was already there. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Romans 8:28. We preaching over here.
See, those scriptures alone, they are the go-to scriptures. For me, anyway, then you have some praise worship songs like Michael W. Smith, Waymaker. That is my all-time favorite. Or I forgot the other one, the new one now from John Reddick. God turned it around.
You ever do
So,
you listen to you get into Charles Stanley? You ever heard of him?
oh yeah, I love Charles Stanley.
He is amazing, isn't he? That's my pastor. He's incredible.
Oh wow.
Charles Stanley, yeah, I listen to him every day when I'm out door dashing. I listen to him. He comes on about 1:30. I'll listen to him, and I
Mm.
just like I tell my wife all the time, like, man, this dude is the truth. He's the truth.
Oh yeah.
And there's another thing is like it's cool because like there's sometimes when we're going through stuff and all of a sudden I love when God works that way. Is like you're going through something and then all of a sudden he'll throw like Charles Stanley at you or somebody else out there, even you, and he'll just throw it at
Mm.
you like, hey.
Look at us up here having church.
While we're here, as we're praying in this moment, as we're preaching, he says, two or three to come together in my name, and he is present.
In the
Is there
midst, yep.
is there anything that you're going through at this moment that you want to just, pray about since he is here in this present moment?
Um, I still, yes, I'm blessed, but I still have my struggles about me. I can't put it into words, but I'm working on knowing that I am worth something, but I still feel hopeless, unworthy, and I'm working on that with my therapist now to how can I put it? To change that. I want to change that to where I can start feeling worthy, start feeling that knowing that there is hope instead of me staying in that dark tunnel, knowing that there is a light outside that dark tunnel. Yeah.
Just remember this though: through every storm, there's always a great blessing at the end of it.
Oh yeah.
The blessings will pour. And I just want to pray in this moment and just say thank you, God, for another day, another blessing here on earth. And just to say thank you for allowing me to meet you, who I'm talking to right now.
Thank you.
Listen,
Thank you.
and be able to preach here live to the world. But as we go into our next days in our lives, Lord, I ask that you be with us and lead us every step of the way of the righteous path. Help us speak the right words of knowledge, truth, and wisdom so that we can be your helping hand, be the right words to the right people at the right times. Lord, I am really getting into the preaching right now. But thank you, Lord, for allowing me to use this platform to reach out to others and have their stories to tell. And would you like to add anything?
I'm good on that end.
Get to it too.
I would like to thank you, and I hope this. I'm sorry if it went the wrong way.
Oh, we're not done yet.
I really do. You don't know how much I appreciate it, and I do hope that if anybody out there that or who will listen, that it does help, and they will reach out.
And we're not finished yet. Not yet, not yet. So we're not bailing out yet. Um, like what was life? Kind of get back on track here. what was life like after you finished high school? After you graduated?
Um, I tried several different jobs, but because of my illnesses, discrimination was really, really bad at that time. So I just I just gave in, basically. Like I said, isolation was terrible for me. I laid in my room, stayed in there, and I ate. And I forgot that part. I was a binge eater. I forgot about that part. Because I just laid in my bed, stayed in there. I even had food on my bed. So I'm like, and I don't know how, when did all this started breaking through, but I know it really broke through last month, and it's breaking through again now, just talking to you. So pat your own self on the back.
Did you I know a lot of people in the past have told me. Did you fall into the party scene at all? Did you get into that? Or
None of that.
good. See, look, and you were telling me before that you didn't feel smart. There's another thing to be thankful for. You didn't get into that mess. You didn't get into that life.
Mm,
And I understand anybody that's watching this right now that's that hasn't stepped in it. Thank you. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Don't
like I
do it.
said, I grew up in church, so church was my life. That was my singing. That was my, how you say, sanity.
So
Even though that I felt that God didn't love me, I always stayed in church. I always stayed in my Bible.
like that's another cool thing to really, man. And like the more you tell me about your story, it's like God's been with you all the way.
He has brought me through so much.
He has been there every step of the way, and I mean, you don't even realize it. It's like God is there, just waiting. He's just saying,
And
"Hey,
I ain't gonna make
I'm here."
stop.
Huh? He's there every step of the way.
Oh yeah. You might not feel him at some point, but he's there.
And like even in those tough times, even when you were kind of, you're going through your thing, and even in that moment, he was begging, he was pleading, he was saying, "Hey, you are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth it. Say it. I am worth it."
Well, see, it was going in one ear and out the other for me.
And I mean that happens to the best of us, though. We totally miss what God's saying to us because He gives us that free will to have our own thoughts and to think what we want. And you even said it the best is like you didn't feel like God was there, but He was, and
Mhm.
He still is. He never left.
Oh yeah. And look what he went through.
Mhm.
And I mean, he
That
went through worse than what I went through. You and me went, I don't know your story, but he went through what worse than what I went through.
oh yeah, I mean, and then it's the thing. It's like what Christ went through for us is like He didn't have to, but He chose to. He came down from heaven, and did He do anything wrong? No,
Mhm.
He just spoke the truth. And people ask the question a lot: would it happen again if Jesus came again? Oh, of course. People don't like the truth. People don't like being told what they're doing is wrong. And that's why so many people are against Christ. Even to this day. But anybody that's out there right now, Christ is the way. Christ is the way.
Amen.
There you go, preaching again.
Don't tell my pastor that.
If anybody's wondering, it's down duck juice. It's good stuff. Grape juice, I love it. Finally getting over this cold I had for about a week. Ended up catching
Oh wow.
ended up catching
Yeah.
a sore throat in my last podcast.
Mm.
But you know, the Lord has blessed me with a great immune system to overcome it, especially in the times that we're living in right now. Very blessed to be able to to recover so
Thank the
quickly.
Lord for that. Yep, thank the Lord for that. I have a good immune system myself. I could tell you on one hand how many times I ever caught a cold, as far as I can remember.
For how many times, huh?
About two.
About two. Look at that. Blessed. Blessed beyond
Oh
words,
yeah.
man. Especially, I mean, living the times that we're living in right now with the whole COVID and everything. I know
I
nobody
know.
wants to talk about it, but it's truly incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, since I'm on that topic, how have you handled that situation? Has it slowed you down at all? Has it affected you in a way, your lifestyle at all?
It has slowed me down and it has affected me a lot. Like I said, I have scars on my body, and that's what's slowing me down. If I'm answering your question correctly, that's what my scars are slowing me. My scars should be a blessing that I'm still here, but it's slowing me down really. And I think that's why the anger and the hatred is still burning.
But you gotta also look at it as a blessing in disguise. Again, here I go. I'll tell you once again, here's a blessing in disguise. It has slowed us down so that we're able to think. We're in a world that is constantly go, 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 go. But now we're able to slow down and actually relax and get back into our own reality and be able to think for
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. And, in what everything that's happened from 19 to 21 now, well, 22, the time's flying. You are able to, to get in that moment. This is something to be thankful for, is you were able to slow it down and bring you back to your reality and bring you closer to Christ again.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I've been a follower of Christ since I was 8, but I never got real close to him until like recently. And I'm like, "Hey, God, you have, like you said earlier, I'm like, God, you have always been there. Because if he wasn't there, I wouldn't be here today."
Yeah. And that's the beautiful part of it all, is like Christ is always here. And the moment we finally truly embrace and accept him into our lives, stuff starts to make more sense. It becomes more clear. Your life itself becomes more easier. But
Yes.
it's not gonna always be the easiest path to follow. Because a lot of times what happens is when stuff starts to go our way, we tend to say, hey, I got this from here. And then we step away and let go of God's hand. And then suddenly we fall down. We go, it's good for a while, but suddenly we hit that path in the road or we trip on our rock. And suddenly we're like, what happened? Everything was going well. It's like you let go of God's hand. You started making your own decisions again. And that's what I'm preaching to you, is you have to continue to follow. Even in the moments, when it's going good, don't let go of God's hand. Continue to, hold on and continue to build that relationship, because it's only the beginning of your journey and you're going to do incredible things.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I take that to heart.
Do you read the word every day? Do you get into it, or?
I tries to. I tries to. I even do a little devotions on YouVersion on an app.
Hey, I do that too.
Uh, okay.
I've been there.
I try to read my word every day, but I do more of the new version. And I know I need to get back into my word, but it's like I said here lately has been a struggle with my health. because I thought, I don't know if you've seen any of my posts. I just recently had some news from one doctor because he thought that I had a tumor, a brain tumor. I got all my prayer warriors together. We prayed, kind of found out today it wasn't a tumor like the other doctor thought. So that's another blessing.
Hey, man, blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings.
Yes. It just been like I was so distraught that I couldn't even focus on in the word. But I know I should have known that was the best strength that I could have went to. But I did go to my praise music. I keep that playing 24/7.
What would you say is your go-to prayer?
My go-to prayer,
Yeah.
uh, it's who I go to for prayer. Prayer, a pastor.
You passed.
Especially we had two of them, but especially well both of them. I mean, we have grown into like a real good friendship, and I go to him for prayer because my prayer is not that great, so I go for him. You know.
That's all. It's just you're at the beginning of that journey, man, and within time, you'll find yourself doing like how I do sometimes, where I just get into the moment, man, and start praying away, start preaching.
Mhm.
It's really, it's incredible, man. What would you like? I kind of feel like you're telling your testimony, and and that's pretty much what's going on. Is and this time you're really it's taking over your life, and
And as a matter of fact, I've been talking to my pastor about my own testimony to do at church.
are you
So
getting are you getting involved in the church now more, or
I was involved in the church, but we kind of slowed it down. I kind of slowed it down. It was my own, putting myself down and my own troubles that I was going through. Because what I do is the ones that are sick and shut in, I send them out like a little encouragement quotes or, I even do it to my pastors. I send them, I know they're tired of me, but every day I find, or I make up my own quote, but I find little quotes or find scriptures, even though they know the Bible well. I, pastors needs encouragement too.
oh, every
So
day,
I try
man?
to encourage them every day myself.
That's awesome. that's, that's awesome. I'm like kind of speechless right now because I'm kind of feeling like the presence of the Lord right now. It's kind of like, and everybody that somebody that's listening right now, the feeling is incredible. It feels like you just feel loved, and it just
Hmm.
overtakes you. And I'm gonna pass that to you. Here, take it. Feel that love. If you ain't
Oh,
feeling it
yeah.
right now, feel the
I
love.
mean, it might not be the way, it might not be going the way that all your other podcasts has gone, but the truth, just speaking it has helped me in what, a little hour that we've been talking. I don't know how it helped, but it helps.
Hey, man, and that's what you got to do is like just tell your story. You know, you talk to me, tell me. I'm not a counselor. I'm your brother.
And believe me, I have a blood brother, and we don't, really, we toast, but we don't talk. I have a sister. We don't talk at all.
No, maybe that's
We don't talk
wrong.
at all. So it's like my whole family is just, from my mom to my brothers and sisters, we just separated.
I
I
believe
mean,
in
I don't
within
know.
time, though. I believe within time that's gonna change.
Oh yeah, me and my brother, we all, like I said, we talking, but it's not the talk that I want. I mean, it is. I should be thankful that we are, But it's like our relationship, it's lovable, but I would like for it to grow better than what it is.
What would you say your goal is? What is your what do you want to accomplish?
To help somebody.
To help somebody. I mean, I bet you already have
Mm.
within this hour. You probably
That is my
some
main goal, to help somebody.
we probably help somebody. Your story alone is gonna help somebody. I can't wait to see your book one day. It's gonna be out there in the bookstores, and I'm gonna be like,
I
"Hey,
don't know
dude,
about
on my
all that.
podcast." So I promise you, I'll be the one that buys it. I'll buy your book. I'll read it.
Oh,
I'll read it on here.
hey, you're loud.
I'll call you up and do like how we're doing right now, and I'll just talk to you. I'll be like, "Hey, I'm glad you finally published this book."
Hey, maybe I could share some of my writings to you.
Do it. I love getting into stuff. I love hearing, people's stories. I love hearing what people have on their mind. Hell, just do it even right now.
I actually, I got one that I saved on my phone that I'm gonna share to you a little bit. But I have to write it down, and instead of just speaking it out, I have to write it down. That's how I work.
You ain't
I don't
there
know.
yet. You gotta just express it.
And now I'm just plain stuff.
Bless, man. Bless beyond words, beyond. And it's crazy to think that we have been on here for almost an hour now, but it don't even feel like it. It feels like I just started talking to you. Let's get.
And I love every minute of it.
Me too. Me too. Um, what what's your goals just in this? Have you have anything planned out? Any goals for the future for yourself? What are you thinking? What's going on? Can we tap into that a little bit?
Uh, Drawing closer to God, staying in His Word, growing more,
Am I?
and reaching out to,
Am
mainly reaching out to others.
yes. I'm.
Like I said, that's my main goal. Or become an advocate for mental illness or anybody,
Yes.
or physical abuse or whatever. Just become an advocate.
What would your advice be to somebody that is like going through the physical abuse right now? That is doubting themselves. What would you say to them, that person?
Behind me, talk to me. I can tell you what. I mean, just behind me, talk to me. If you can't talk to nobody, I'm a good listener.
They want to hear you right now. Tell them, what would you say to them right now, right in this moment?
Don't give up. Do not. There is hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Just don't give up. You have so much to hope for, so much to live for. Life is a beautiful thing.
I like that. Life is a beautiful thing. It is. It is.
I'm gonna have to start using that for myself.
Life is a beautiful thing.
And I just thought of that today.
Hey man, that's what it begins. You start hitting these quotes off the top of your head. That's God working in your life.
Mm.
Heck, you might even be out there, one day. What am I gonna say? You will be one day out there in front of the church speaking and telling your story, just like how you are right now. And there's gonna be so many people there listening to you. You're eating your every word, just like I dig this chick, man. I love her. That's what I needed to hear, especially when that book comes out too.
Well, hey, you gotta think of the name of it now.
You already said it. It's your quote. That's the title of your book.
Life is a beautiful thing.
Life is beautiful. That's your quote. That's the title of the book. That's what I'm gonna be looking for, that title.
Mm.
Life is beautiful. It's gonna be a path. It's gonna have a cover on the path. That's gonna be like, a sidewalk or whatever you come up with. Don't. This is your book. I can't tell it for you.
Yep.
And it's gonna inspire millions of people that read it. They're gonna hear the stuff that you went through in your life, and what every day, your everyday life, the stuff that you've gone through, and it's gonna move a lot of people.
I mean, I put a lot of stuff out there, a lot of I know I shouldn't, but I put a lot of my personal experience out there on Facebook. You would trust me, you would see them, you would get tired of them.
No,
But
no, no, I will
I
not.
put a lot, like I said, I put a lot out there on Facebook and what I goes through, how I might get down 1 minute, but the next minute I bounces back. And it's better than I'm better than before.
And my advice to you though is when you do that, don't be discouraged when somebody comes in and tries to knock you down. Think about the people that you're inspiring, because you're gonna have that thought. That thought's gonna cross your mind. I used to, I do it from time to time myself, where I put those positive quotes out there, something that's on the top of my head, and I'm thinking to myself like, just think like this, like somebody needs to hear this thought.
Hmm.
Somebody needs to hear this. Just think about that whenever you post something on Facebook or wherever you post. Just let that be in your head whenever you do it. Somebody needs to hear this thought.
Amen.
Preaching over here.
Told you we've been having church all afternoon.
I needed some church, man. We all need some church. I could. I love
Oh
going to
yeah.
church. Honestly, I don't know where I would be at if it wasn't for God. I just put that out there.
Trust me, you and me both. You and me both.
I don't know where I would be at. Definitely not on this
I'll be
podcast.
dead by I hate to say it, but I'll be dead right about now if it wasn't for him.
And that alone should just let you know that your life is worth it when you have a purpose in
Mm,
this world. And yeah,
trust me, he done saved my life too many times, more than I deserve.
yeah. And then I think Steve Harvey said it best, man. Is like every day you wake up, or when the days that you felt like you weren't gonna get through it, just remember God was saying, "I ain't finished with you yet. I ain't finished with you yet.
Oh yeah.
I ain't done yet. I ain't finished.
True.
I ain't finished."
It's true.
Everybody sees him as a goofy dude, but man, that guy, he's got some quotes. He's got some good books out there too. That he'll inspire you.
Mm.
Anybody that needs, I think Steve Harvey's just this funny dude on the game shows. Nah, check him
Oh
out
yeah.
sometime on YouTube. He's got some good motivational stuff.
I've been listening to him too.
He's got some great stuff, some great stories, man.
Oh, I listen to him sometimes.
Now I ain't saying to follow him. No,
I know.
I ain't
I know
saying to
what you're saying.
follow
I'm just saying I listened.
him.
I heard a couple of them, so I listened to them.
But yeah, his story has been, he'll be able to inspire you, motivate you to head you into the right path.
Well, I mean, look at George Myers. Look at what she went through her lifetime with her dad, with her husbands. Well, before she married the one that she's with now. So I mean, yeah, she get criticized, but she's been through it too. So I mean, I look up to her.
Oh yeah, Joyce is she's an incredible woman. She's funny too. I'll tell you, she's funny
Mhm.
when she gets into her word. I
Mhm.
listen to her
I
every
actually
once in a
met
while.
her. I actually went to one of her conventions. It was a awesome, very awesome experience.
So let's hear it, man. What was it like?
Like it was, that's the only word I can think of. It was awesome. Like being in the presence, like like okay, you don't think about your problems while when you were there.
Hmm.
All you want to hear was her speak.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I forgot what she spoke on, but I just remember that feeling, that touching moment. I'm like, wow, George, this is the thing I could think of was this is George Myers. I'm actually right in the same building with her.
Yeah, and that's the incredible thing. That's what I was saying earlier. Is like that's how God uses people in our lives, and stuff that we're going through. He'll use somebody to reach out and be able to, if we're, because basically what I'm saying is like sometimes he can't get through to us, so he uses somebody else to be able to get to you, to be able to, and that's basically what he did. That's what you were feeling when you were at Joyce Meyer's convention when she was talking. You felt like, hey, she's talking to me. We went through the same
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and that's just how God works, man. And you'll start to see that more and more in your life as your relationship continues to grow and blossom. And then,
And that's what I want to do. Like my how can I put it? Like see have people see through what I like me get through the people or however you want to put it.
that's basically what I was about to tap into is like right now you're feeling people, touch you through their stories, but you're gonna have many, many people that are gonna come up to you and tell you how your story has touched them, and it's gonna be incredible. You're gonna be moved by it. You're gonna be like, "What? My story?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." God's gonna use you in many ways, and you're gonna just
That's what I want. That is what I'm asking and believing in God for.
that's what you want. That's what you're gonna get. God, right now, as we speak, He's in the works. He's making this. It's all coming into play, and before you know it,
Your phone gonna be blowing off the hook.
yeah, your phone's gonna be ringing. You're gonna be walking down the street someday, or you're gonna be at picking up food somewhere, and all of a sudden you're gonna find yourself like how me and you are right now, preaching. You're gonna be digging into it, getting into it, and I just want to be the first to tell you it's gonna happen. You see, you'll see, you'll see. Is there anything else you want to cover before we wrap this thing up?
Ah, that's it.
Nothing. Okay. How should I wrap this up? You want to do some awkward silence? You want to talk about the states?
I let you take over. I did all the talking. I let you take over.
Okay, okay. Um, what states would you like to visit? Random question.
Tennessee.
Tennessee, man. Where
It
at?
just automatically came to mind.
Where would you like to go in Tennessee? Is there any places?
Gatlinburg. I think it's called Gatlinburg. I hear a lot of that on social media. Everybody talk about it, so I want to see what it's about.
Would you ever want to go to Hollywood? Are you a fan of California?
No, I just Gatlinburg because that's why I said I hear so much on Facebook about it. So that's what I would like. I would like to see what everybody talking about.
You gonna go there and meet Dolly Parton?
Huh?
You gonna go meet Dolly, Miss Dolly Parton?
Hey, if it happens, I'll post it.
I'm like, hey, look, it's gonna happen. Just spoke
Hmm.
it into existence. It's gonna happen. Any other states you would like to visit?
I can't think at the top of my head, off the top of my head.
Would you ever go overseas? And if you would, where would you want to go?
I don't think I would want to go overseas because I'm my heart. I have a big heart, and if I see somebody like what they going through, I know I'm a ball like a big crying baby.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just the part of having a big heart. my thing is like if I ever go overseas, I'm always afraid that I'll like it too much over there and I won't want to come back. I'm like, I don't know, man. I kind of like it over here a lot. So I might just stay over here.
Mm,
I've actually heard that from friends that, have gone over there. I had actually a classmate recently re-announced his citizenship here and stayed in Australia because he liked it that
mm.
much. He gave up his citizenship in the United States and took over and moved and stayed there.
Oh, wow. Well, at least he loved doing it. I
Oh,
mean, I hope he loved doing
from
it.
what I seen, man, on his Facebook, he is loving it over there and living it up.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Um, Mike, you got any questions for me?
Nope.
I'm I'm
I
a
might later.
I'm an
I
open
might come up with later.
I'm an open book for anything. You can throw anything at
Might
me.
come up to you right now. I'm just stuck right now.
It's not gonna move. Anybody that's wondering, I have traveled to 32 states. When I first got out of high school, I didn't really want to know I didn't know what I want to do. I like traveling, and anybody that really knows me, they know that's what I did. I used to take the midnight train, the Amtrak, and just go on train rides, just go to places.
Adventure in the world.
And
That's a good thing to do.
yeah, I mean, the more I got into the world, it really opened me up, and that's why I love traveling so much. Is I got to experience more of the world and just meeting people from all over the world.
Right.
It's incredible. It's awesome.
I'm pretty sure it is.
And like, because a lot of people get stuck in that one spot in their life. They stay somewhere their whole life, and I tell them, you're just missing out, man. There's so much to see in this world.
And now I was just about to say that.
There's so much to see, so much to see. And really, I think that's really helped me become the person who I am now. Helped me become a much better person. when I'll admit too, when I first got out of high school, I went to parties and stuff, and I made that mistake. But it was a learning progress. I learned from it. But when I was
Mhm.
there, I never felt at home. Like most people would say, I felt good when I was there. I never felt that way, and I stepped away from it because of that reason, because I didn't care for it. I always kind of felt this tug in my heart, like this is not where I want you to be. I don't want you to be here. This is, I kind of felt like that God was talking to me whenever I was out and about, when I was drinking the poison and doing the wrong things. I felt like the Lord he had speaking to me directly and saying, don't, I got so much more for you, so much more planned for you. This isn't the life that I've chose for you. Get out of this.
What did you tell me earlier? The best is yet to come.
Yeah,
Or it ain't over yet.
it's only just the beginning.
Yep.
And when I stepped away from that, I didn't have a driver's license until I was like 23. And then once I stepped away and started making better decisions and accepting the Lord into my life and helping Him lead the way, life really took off for me. I got my license and I traveled all over the place since then. I'm not taking train rides anymore because now I got a car.
Hmm.
And thankfully, I did get my license because that's how I met my wife. She lived. It was that's a whole other story. How I met my wife is I was traveling all over the state of Ohio, and little did I know that when I was going to meet her for the first time, all these places I was going was circling her. And now that is God working again. God was working, and I didn't even know it.
Wow.
I was going to all these different places, and little did I know that it was circling where she was at. And
He knows when we don't know.
God always has a plan. So,
Oh, Jeremiah 29:11.
yeah,
There we go again.
God always has a plan.
Yep.
Well, it's been incredible. I'm glad that I had you on the podcast, and I'm thankful that you accepted my invitation to have you on to tell your incredible story.
Thank you for reaching out.
I'd love to have you on again sometime to talk about your book. That other stuff too.
Hey, it's a plan.
But as we wrap this up, I'd like to say that, anybody that's watching right now, I want to hear your story. I believe everybody has a story. Whatever you're going through, somebody out in this world needs to hear it too. Just like how you heard today. And before I get too deep, if anybody else wants to reach out to you, how can they get in contact with you?
Right now they camp off Facebook, Tonja Littlejohn, Tonja, Littlejohn, all one word. Um,
Little John.
yes. There you go. I get that all the time.
Little John.
I get yeah too. The song yeah, I get that.
Yeah. I can't do it. Can you do it? Can you give me a yeah? Do the Little John voice?
They always say like yeah, something like that. I don't even know how to say it.
Yeah.
Or I forgot the other word that
Get
he
it
always
close.
used to use. What? That's how. Yeah, that's what it is. What?
What? Some people get that confused if you get wrestling. Some people start thinking you're talking about Stone Cold. That's what he used to do. What? What? What?
But yeah, they can. This easier was the easier way to find me is on Facebook.
Facebook it is. Remember, Little John. Together. You find that, you'll find her. And she'll be able to tell you more of her incredible story. This is Chris. I'd like to say thank you for watching and listening. Please feel free to subscribe and like, and even message me so I can actually hear your story next. Thank you. Peace.